Hey everybody, welcome to the Fanfest 2014 Alliance Leader Panel. This is a long and storied panel that we've had at Fanfest for many years. I myself was on it twice back when I was a player. With us we have various alliance leaders and corp leaders and representatives of corps and alliances. They'll introduce themselves as they go through. At the end, we'll have a question and answer period, so make sure you're thinking of things to ask, things you might want to know, and they'll range from anywhere from very serious to very silly, I'm sure, in terms of presentations. So let's get the show on the road. I want to have as much time for Q&A as possible, so why don't we have Eve University lead us off?
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name is Neville Smith. I am the Director of Education for Eve University, the largest neutral training organization in all of New Eden. I assure you that my comments will be very brief and frankly fairly boring compared to the calamity to follow onto my left. I'm glad that they have us sitting down because I'm not wearing pants, but move on ahead. So, Eve University, who are we? Well, we are the principal corporation in the Ivy League Alliance, and our sole purpose is to help people understand Eve Online and to have more fun in the game. And for those of you who aren't familiar, Eve Online is, they say, is hard, and that's one of the reasons why we exist. People are very familiar with this particular chart. It is our goal to help pilots to, frankly, fall off the rough edges on this particular chart and not fall off the edge and die. I want to thank my friend Riphard Tegg for this particular chart as well, because not only are we for the new players that are out there. Hello? Okay. Am I causing problems here? That was my intention, so that's good. Mission accomplished. Also, for those players that have left EVE Online for a while and want to come back and get reoriented to the game, as well as try some new things that they've not tried before. So we're very welcoming of those better vets out there who want to get reinvigorated in the game as well. So why were we founded? Morning Maniac, who founded the organization over 10 years ago. Over 10 years ago, we're now in our 11th year, started EVE Online for the sole purpose of trying to find or create a place where people could overcome the learning curve and have more fun in the game. And over 100,000 people, or nearly 100,000 people, who have been involved in EVE Online have been through EVE University, which means that we have the largest and most extensive spy network of any organization in all of EVE. We know exactly what you had for breakfast today. I got my report on the Matani, and he doesn't eat as well as he says he does, believe me. Some of you may be familiar with this particular chart, which I find extremely humorous. You'll notice that EVE University is located in the lawful good section. What this means for you is that if you see us enter in a large fleet in your system, don't move. You have nothing to worry about. Everything is going to be perfectly okay. You're completely safe. Trust me. In fact, you don't even have to engage defensive mods. It'll be quite all right. Trust me. We offer a variety of different services. How many people here have used the EVE University Wiki? EVE University Wiki, in fact, is used more often by CCP Games than anybody else, which
shots fired.
It's absolutely true. In fact, they actually syndicate our content on the Evilopedia, believe it or not, because it's more accurate and up to date. And I want to thank all of you, for those of you who've contributed to the EVE University Wiki. It is the reason that people use it more than any other resource is because more people use it than any other resource. So thank you for that. We also have an extensive list of activities. This is actually a screenshot from last month's classes, events, and fleet events. So if you're looking for a corp that does a lot of stuff and has a lot of fun, we definitely do that. We also have a mentor program, and we also offer free ships and modules, and we encourage you to go out and lose them and blow them up. So by all means, please do. If you join EVE University, make good use of our resources. We are, however, completely dependent on donations. So I'm also here to issue a plea to all of you, and that is that we want you to give us your money, so please do.
They'll double it.
Yeah, it's not this doubling scheme, but you will at least have the satisfaction of taking those poor unwanted noobs and making them happy for a while, so thank you very much for that. We also are not just an organization, although we are based in Metropolis in high-sec space. We have a wide variety of different campuses today, so if you want to try low-sec space, you can join our court and give it a shot. Wormhole space, we also have a bunch of folks who do a lot of exploration out in the solitude where no one lives for some inexplicable reason. Even a mining group, incursion groups, just you name it, any aspect of EVE Online, we definitely have a group for you. Over 2,200 members currently. Okay. I am here to issue a plea to all of you who may not be looking to join a training court, and that is we need you. We need everybody in this room. We need everybody in the EVE Online community. We could not exist without your ongoing support. And when I meant that we could use your donations, I do, but more importantly, we need your time. For those of you who aren't aware, we also offer a fleet command program. We love to have guest fleet commanders. In fact, do a search on the Matani.com, and Shadu likes to do fleets with EVE University. He told me the other day it's very weird, though, because you've got 250 noobs who are scared to death of dying and absolutely say nothing on comms. The first time he did a fleet with us, he was there, is this thing on? Is anybody out there? You okay? It's like, I said, no, they're just afraid of dying. So no. So if you're interested in piloting a fleet and have 2,000 rabid young piranhas at your disposal, by all means, please contact us. We'd be delighted to have you. We also are very keen to have guest lecturers. If you know something about EVE Online, or you think you do, we would be delighted to have you as a guest lecturer. We do these all the time. And by the way, all of our classes and guest lectures and many of our events are available to anyone. You do not have to be a member of EVE University to be able to participate in those particular events. So check out our calendar. We'd love to have you join us. In fact, about a third of the people who attend our classes are not actually members of EVE University. So with that, I would like to say thank you for your attention. I told you I would keep it brief and less chaotic, and now on to the circus.
All right, there we go. My name is Cyan Aviander, and I'm with Noir Mercenary Group. Like the name implies, we are mercenaries. We're made up of Noir, Yggdrasil Woodchoppers, and Noir Academy, our training corporation in our alliance. Brief history of Noir. We were founded in 2009 by our fearless leader, Alexiev Card. And that should be a gif there of him tearing his shirt off. But I guess that doesn't work. Maybe if, no, damn. And yeah, as mercenaries, we basically do the dirty work that no one else wants to do because the game isn't that fun to play. So, you know, shooting towers, things that aren't fun for people to play, they hire us to do instead. And that is our job. And, you know, contrary to popular belief, being a mercenary is not all supermodels and sports cars. It's sometimes not all that great. For instance, just recently, Gevlon Goblin has accused us of being the newest pets of the Goon Swarm. So, yeah, it's good to be a part of that club. Here's another really great example of us being awesome. If you can play that for me. Oh, yeah. No, not believing. That's me and a Redeemer about to drop on a carrier.
Point, scram, web, lighting Sino.
Need to slow down.
Sino is up.
Bridge is up.
You idiot!
Yeah. Oh my god.
Holy fuck.
What?
Just give me a Sino.
Did we jump or no?
No,
jump.
fucked up. Return Sinos.
Okay, yeah. So it's not always great being a mercenary, but a lot of times it's actually really interesting and a lot of fun, and we get to do a lot of really cool stuff that a lot of people don't really know that maybe mercenaries do. For instance, fairly recently, we had a contract in Tenerifus with Mildly Intoxicated. We ended up tackling 2 chimeras and a rorqual that had set up a small POS as they were trying to take the region away from them. And that turned into about 22 chimeras. And 8 of us held them down for about 2 to 3 hours, I believe, until we could get reinforcements. I have an artist rendition of that, actually. Really cool, very well done. So we've got our Rorqual and our Chimera there, and they're chilling, and we bubble them. And then they bring in more Chimeras, and we hold them until N3 brings their Eagle fleet, and we destroy them all. So yeah, really high quality work. Obviously, we can afford that kind of thing as mercenaries. We had a contract in Delve during the Fountain War, hired by an anonymous benefactor. And we broke a lot of personal records while we were there. We killed 100 billion worth of things just off of hot drops in about 3 weeks. Here's a really well done graph. And if you don't keep a full set of snake sets in your cargo hold, by the way, guys. There was a civil war in Providence that you may have heard of between Sound and the Providence block. They hired us to protect them with their 2 little systems because they would, not bend the knee. And so they hired us. Like I said, we made it so that they were able to keep all their assets, leave peacefully, and that's the kind of thing that we do. I've got one more short video before I go. And this is kind of us in a nutshell. Thank you, guys. I'm glad you like that.
Okay, I was actually shooting you guys in the...
Yes,
the
I didn't realize that until now. Sorry.
No.
Awkward.
No, not really. Yeah, I'm here as the Alliance Executive Officer for 4th District, Demons MNL. Actually, I've held no work now for like a few weeks. And yeah, 4th District. Who are we? Well, we're part of Provi Block. We are a small alliance with 500 members, and that's basically what we're trying to be, a small alliance with 500 members. Doing what we tried to do with those 500 members. Role players. Oh, crap. The lore and the backstory of EVE is something that 4th District, Kane, most of the people there is founded. And that's something that we burn about a little bit, what is happening in EVE at large. Well, we're not really role players anymore. We do actually do PvP. 3 years in Providence as a Calori enclave, that is basically what we are saying. Well, CVA, Providence, the area there with the Provi block. We being Calori is one part of the thing that gives a little bit more to nullsec. We follow not read on shoot, so I guess I'm also here to advocate a little bit for the not read on shoot area. Another part of how to behave in nullsec, not only to shoot everything that comes in sight, well, that is pretty much fun, but I can also tell you that it's not hard to find people being read to Providence. People like coming down to Providence to shoot us. And it's not really hard to give them a sentiment to be read when we can set them cost, because then we can actually shoot them. But if you are neutral, and if you want to join in and use all the stations that is there, and actually now with all the industry updates, Nola is getting into industry because they just reinforced R3. Well, we are not going to shoot anti-pirate rules of engagement. I think Rick Javik actually said, why be in the Navy when you can be pirates? So I'm guessing that we are playing the game a little bit harder, I don't know. Not red on shoot, we don't shoot everything that comes in sight. We actually give neutrals a chance to be in space. And we'll shoot pirates, so please be pirates, because then we can shoot you. Yeah, part of Provi Block. Yeah, what we do, as being a small alliance, of course, we do the bigger blobs thing, but we try to engage in small attack battle cruiser fleet, frigates fleets, cruiser fleet, destroyer fleets in nullsec. We don't need to be in all this blob. Good fights. I will come to that later also, where we tried to have a good fight and PL dropped us. But 15-man gangs, the basis is in history of faction warfare, and that is actually what we're trying to be. Fun fights in smaller fleets, not really into blob warfare. But of course, we do larger fleets with coalition, and people are getting evicted, and we need to actually evict them. All kinds of strategic ops, defense and CTAs. The whole industrial area has been interesting for many people in Providence, and also people are neutral or trying to find a nullsec area where they can do their industry now has been a little bit more. Just a few weeks ago, I got a 150-man alliance saying that, yeah, you have space, nullsec, and you actually invite people, come here to use the nullsec space. Can we be part of this? Yeah, of course you can. We do live events, or we try to do live events, and being a little bit interested as large for an nullsec operation, cooperation, alliance, interested in backstory of EVE, we do Caldari aligned events. We're trying to do the events of Caldari way of things. Trying to save the Titans was a hard job. Participate in the Alliance tournament, as we said, we actually do PvP. We have been participating in all that Alliance tournament, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 10th, and 11th. We might actually set up now in the 12th also. We do that because we believe that is the most fair fight you can have in EVE. Compete with PL, yeah. But actually try to engage yourself a little bit in other PvP areas and just the big blobs and nullsec. So I guess the purpose of us to being here, trying to Color Enclave, if we're going to hold that, and that is open up our space for activity when it comes to industry. Activity comes from the mining, ratting, fleets with friendly neutrals and blues. Actually, to have a little bit more activity in nullsec area, not just say that if you come here, we shoot you. Not red, don't shoot. In short, we will not shoot you if you not have done something without a reason. Neutrals are welcome to Providence and, of course, also to 4th District. Same not red on shoot applies to you as neutral coming here. So, yeah, it doesn't really work to come up to us, being neutral, then join a spectral fleet shooting Provi people. Don't be idiots. It's now it's hard sometimes. Being a diplomat now for the Alliance, I have some discussion with people, don't really understand. But come to our area is actually talk to us if you want to use it. It is no problem for people being neutral. We will not shoot you. Kill on site.
His time is running out.
Oh, really? Shit.
That sounds ominous.
Kill on site. Yeah, every single case is handled by the cost administrator. So I actually give some exceptions there. This is actually the people here.
What the hell?
Yeah, your costs. Yeah, it should be clear by now. Everyone agrees upon the same not to shoot area. We have no pets. It's not how it works. The member base is actually the holders and the blues in the area, and we are the smallest coalition in EVE with most reds. And Providence is not dead by PvP, not by far, not by long shots. Oh shit. Yeah, we built a Titan, our first Titan. NC came and visited us. Yeah, before it was built actually. We saved it, and we actually managed to build it. Built also a station. I think probably it's famous for a lot of stations. And there was a corporation project that actually managed to build one station more. I think they have just a few systems left. And this is actually when we got to have a little more fights. I said this, why buy some pokers and low sec, they said, have some fun, they said. We did that first against a similar size 25-man battleship fleet. Then PL came. With 23 super. My idea was to give some more PvP from my group. And that was actually one of the noobs we have also in our alliance. Oh fuck, I never see one super carrier before. I shit my pants. So thank you, Pia. Forthcom, it's me you will talk to. We have a website, of course, with all the information if you are interested in a little bit of lore and backstory of Eve. And also fourth blog with us. Me writing a lot of stuff what happened in the 4th district. So thank you.
Sorry, I didn't really want that Cinnabon anyway when I came to visit. Right, I'm here representing my corp, Segmentum Solar. We're probably the only one here representing the corp only, am I? Yep. Basically, we've been living in nullsec for about 4 years now, recently moved into wormholes about 2 months back, and we've basically been going around being terrible ever since. So, Segmentum Solar, or how to destroy an alliance simply by leaving it. So, let me explain this. Every single alliance we have joined and then left has died. Everyone, without exception. Here's a list. Oh, actually, no, it's not. Welcome to Fanfest. My bad. Screwed that one up nicely. Unfortunately, I couldn't bring the rest of my corp on the alliance panel, even Care Bear. So, our alliance history, and I've blown them all up. The Jag Alliance, dead. Intergalactic Exports Group, dead. White Noise, dead. After that, we were hired by Raiden to help train up the renters, Rolling Thunder, defunct. Raiden, dead. Nemesis, dead. Intrepid Crossing, not dead, but they might as well be. Okay. So we then went and joined and thought, hey, Nully Secunda, we're quite like to you guys. They say, no, you're too terrible. So we then joined their feeder group, Nully Legio, dead. So we've joined and recently left Nully Secunda, so soon. I'm telling you, very soon. But of course, while we were there and we were doing N3 fleets, we made lots of friends, and they come up with some marvellous quotes about us. They really did. Not as terrible as they used to be. At least not quite. Bad at Eve. That's from one of my own corpies. Segum are literally the worst corp in this alliance. High command. I think we're undercutting them or something, I'm not sure. Right, the guys with the shitty Thanatos pilot. That was from an NC dot, and that's me myself. I'll show you the shitty Thanatos very soon. But we are good at Eve, honest, because, for instance, our first encounter with the Goon Omega fleet, you know, I hadn't got myself an Archon by that point, thought I'd take a Thanatos. Bad choice. Really bad choice. Was there? Guys, have you got reps on me? Yeah, we've got reps on you. Absolutely. Where's my Thanatos gone? Honestly, it happened so quickly, my pod thought it was a Thanatos in terms of its HP. The client couldn't catch up. But, like I say, when we went to wormhole space, you know, let's try some PvE. Sure, we're going to do better at that. How can I get wrecked there? Computer says no. Well, it's all right. I have to then name my second Kronos, not for relic sites, just to remind myself. But, you know, we're a social corp. You know, we've got 3 of my guys here. Give a wave, guys. Where are you? At the back. Great. So, you know, a bit earlier we met up in Oxford for a corp meeting. You know, what could go wrong there? Well, this. That went really well. Behind me is Morgan L. Johnson, my corp, and behind him, my real-life brother Sahario, some of you may know him, was in Noir, and is now in Snuffbox. So, yeah, woo, Snuffbox. So, some notable events we've been involved in over our years. Some notable events. When we were in IRC in Calavera 2012, we drew up some really detailed battle plans as I was FCing for IRC at the time. We had to take this really super seriously as well. So, yeah, super serious. Yep, take your photo, brilliant. But as we said, we ended up in Nully Secunda, by default really. But it's okay. We eventually left them, came to our senses or not. Sorry, what if you're still here? So we got involved with the Halloween War. Head GP, great time, because, you know, I was in my Dreadnought shooting a CFC Dreadnought. So much tie-dye, I called up, hey, can I get some Indian food? Absolutely. Got on my motorbike 2 miles into town, picked up some Indian food, came back, still shooting the same fucking thing. It's great. BTAC R5B, I spent that entire fight at work. In fact, by the time I got back, the station in Aitashen was bubbled to hell, and then, nothing really happened then. So, that was a great letdown. And the hell camp of O-W. Not a hell camp, my dreads are just in long-term storage. They really are. I'm getting them back eventually, somehow. But then things look up. Much more recently, Burn Jitter. Well, we didn't really do much, we just horde on Concord to kill nails. But fun times. Now, I want to extend you all an invitation to buy me drinks. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, ask them at the end.
All right, so hello.
Hello.
Hello. I'm Joseph Barnacle O'Sullivan. I'm from the Dark Space Initiative, a corp in the Scary Wormhole People Alliance. Whaboo. Whaboo. All right, so just a little bit about myself. About me, Ireland and Gas Crowd Farm. I'm the only person in my corp from Ireland, much to my corp's amusement. So much so that they've gifted me a lucky potato, which is now the official TD Sin potato that I will treasure forever. More seriously about me, we do a lot of things in our corp, in our group. One of the things I'm famous for in my group is multi-boxing the living daylights out of ventures. I've got 7 accounts. Last year alone, I made about 150 billion ISK just out of gas mining. I made a lot of venture losses, a lot of very expensive Tengu losses in the process. I made about 6% of the entire Jitta gas market on our calculation. So little bits here and there. We take ourselves not too seriously, a little bit of fun with our little arrows here. I'm also one of the directors, so I do a lot of the logistics for the corp and stuff as well. So if you ever see any alt with the name O'Sullivan in it, it's one of me. Please leave me alone or shoot at me, because we'll shoot back at you. We're very, easygoing. We haven't set up any sort of a logo or anything for our alliance yet, because it's still kind of new, but we have kind of a plan for something like this. We do a bit of PvP. We do a lot of PvP. We do a bit of PvE. This might be a bit more appropriate if it was a Proteus, maybe. We might eventually get around to making an alliance logo when they kind of sort out the intellectual property rights with them, but up until then, we can dream with our lovely googly-eyed asteroids there, screaming whaboo at people on comms. I'm going to tell you a bit about where we live, because we're Wormhole Corp. We don't really know anything about K-Space. So what are wormholes? Places everyone in Ulsec is afraid of. Hands down, they've no idea what they are. Where are they? They're everywhere. Every time you go into the system, like you look in your little discovery scanner window, there's a signature. Could be a combat site, could be a relic site, might be a wormhole. If it's a wormhole, we're somewhere nearby, or someone you don't like is nearby. They reward effort. So in a wormhole space, if you really put in the effort, you put in the time, you skill up the right ships, you can really have a lot of fun. If you are lazy and you just think, I'll just log in every now and then, and the PvP will come to me and all the ISK will flow, you'll end up really bored and you'll quit after about a month, because you'll have no PvP, you'll have no PvE, you'll just be left on your own in a pos, and people will ignore you and dislike you. So the more fun you put into it, and effort, the more it rewards you. As you see here, why can't I hold all these nano ribbons? If you really put the effort in, you can be really rich and actually make billions and billions. But that's only if you buy the right chips and actually find a good group that really supports your activities. You can also kill a lot of things. That's the most important part. So in 2013 and 2014, we grew, we moved. We got a lot more active members. We got a lot less PvE. We still do a good bit, but we cut down a bit because, too much PvE makes the mind go a bit dull. You get a bit bored. You kind of, what are we doing out here in this fringes of space? We're not just here to farm. We do more PvP. We're not always victorious. As it stands, our kill board is somewhat atrociously painted red. It kind of goes up and down. We tend to lose a lot of very expensive ships because we tend to fly very expensive ships. It tends to be a bit of fun. PvP happens all over the place. We moved house, so we call, wormhole people are very, very particular. When you say I live in a system, it's yours. If someone comes from, another wormhole, you'll vehemently defend it. We moved into, there's different classes of wormholes. We used to live in a C6 with a static C C5 was okay. We now live in a static C6, which means that it always connects to C6 space, where some of the really big corps and alliances live. Not all of them, but some of the guys who PvP all the time, they live there, and they're always good fun to have a jar with. And because you connect to them all the time, every time your connection collapses or rolls, you get a lot more action. PvP is everywhere for us. The whole game is our oyster. In wormhole space, very serious stuff PvP. We have like an overlords channel for diplos and stuff. I'm in it as part of our lead diplo. You nearly have to send a written invitation to people sometimes to PvP. Depending on the fleet, there can be a lot of big blobs and you nearly have to say, whoa, hold on, we're not going to fight your like 200-man gang with our 10-man cruiser fleet, because that's just ridiculous in some cases. We PvP in low sec a little bit less though. All of the things like gate guns and no podding and stuff doesn't really appeal to us as much, but we do it. We do still pod in low sec because we don't care about sec status. But all of these things is a little bit boring to us because we're used to the freedom of wormhole space where there's no timers. You can jump that wormhole as long as you haven't jumped it over and over again because there's timers on the hole, but there's no aggression timer won't stop you from getting away in that gate and chasing someone. There's a lot of different dynamics. In nullsec, the PvP is different. Every time you try to attack a T1 frigate, 10 carriers will undock to rep it. I'll get to this a bit later, but you can't FC or PvP without the FC calling in supers. This is our experience. Like, apart from the guys in Provi block, and not just the 4th District, but like CVA in particular, we actually love Provi block. They're possibly the best PvPers in all of EVE, because every time we go into deckline, 10 wormhole guys show up, 500 people in local respond with the biggest blob you've ever seen, and it's somewhat ridiculous, but and supers everywhere. You got a Titans, but in the cases of CVA and just all of Provi block, they have roaming defense fleets, which is actually kind of interesting because when we bring 20 guys, they'll bring 50, but we might still win. But at least we get a fight. They don't just dock up and run away. You get a bit of a challenge, and that sort of same in Curse as well, actually, a little bit. The thing is that in most cases, oh, they're running out. Okay, so almost out of time. This is our understanding of nullsec. Null bears, bots, renters, and titans. We don't really know anything about it. Head GP is somewhere on the map. See a couple of places. JIT is in the middle. The most important thing about wormhole people is we do these really crazy things. This is what we call our danger zone roams. We go on one-way trips into K-space, often nullsec. You're not coming back. That pod's expendable, regardless if you've got crystals or slaves or whatever. In this case, this is where Pandemic Legion decided we took out a frigate roam, assault frigates, started attacking, went to head GP. And our Logi is a triage carrier in this case that forgot to fit his triage. So we're great. But in this case, the only response is, PL gotta drop a Titan. So if you notice there, we got Doomsday by a Ragnarok on a frigate roam. So that was kind of interesting. You gotta call in supers. This guy was in the Titan. Oh no, not in Titan, he's the FC, sorry. And one of the guys on this kill mail actually is in our corp now and he thinks we're mad. And the best part about wormholes is we do stupid things like we use marauders a lot. There's our 13 marauder losses, each one of them about 3 billion ISK each. We just don't learn. You get these really expensive ships. Not all of these are to PvP. We keep dying to sleeper sites, because we don't even know. But sometimes we get away with it. Sometimes you get some loot out of the sleeper. Sometimes you get dropped. And just the other day, one of our guys, Alec, got attacked by a fleet, about 30 guys, and his Varger lasted for about 45 minutes because he was and that guy was FCing. We do lots of different things. If you're interested in doing wormhole space and, coming and doing all varieties, like you can go to high sec, you can go to low sec and null sec, think about joining us. We'd be happy to take new members. All right, so thank you very much for your time.
Hey everybody, my name is Licton Condor. First off, let me apologize for my voice. I know. I am the CEO of Brave Newbies and the Brave Collective, and I wanted to take a little bit of time to just give you guys some numbers about what it is that Brave does, because as you guys all know, we are the most spy-infested corp in New Eden. All of you guys are probably have alts in us, and you guys already know generally what's going on. So let me just give you guys some more information. My voice is already bad, so I actually have a video for us. Here we go.
Come on, guys, get him, get him. Silo. Overheat, overheat. Overheat on system, overheat on system. Secondary is going to be call and Guardian secondary. COL is primary, COL is primary. Oil spec range, one cycle of WD's box, one cycle of WD. One cycle, break call, ZO secondary, ZO secondary. ZO is primary,
So that video was a lot cooler when it's not in tie-dye, I promise. We'll get that up on Dropbox soon. So let's talk about combat. Since Brave was founded, we've lost 194,000 ships, totaling over 3.2 trillion ISK. That's roughly one ship every 3 minutes since we formed on January 29, 2013. Yeah. Thank you. Now, our combat efficiency is not nearly as impressive as our combat lab, but we still managed to get 53,487 kills, but with a 200% ISK efficiency as we killed over 6.6 trillion ISK. However, I'd like to point out that, thank you, I'd like to point out that that entire collective kill record, that entire collective kill record is still only half the value of the losses in BTAC-R. So we still got a long way to go before we can start killing and losing things in a magnitude that would be impressive for our size. Now, for the next couple slides, I'm just going to give you a general timeline and talk about Brave. Oh, there's that timer. Good. After we were formed in January, we immediately formed up in the idyllic town of Heck, where we were greeted by the locals in the form of 17 concurrent war decks. So we said, oh, well, we have an idea. Let's go to low sec, because that's safer. We picked an ideal spot next to Provi Block, and within 3 days, they had set us red and kicked us out of comms, and they've been killing us ever since. We named Rahadalon our headquarters. You guys may be aware of Rahadalon if you guys have taken the time to come down and kill us, or if you listen to Sindel Pellion's song, Stupid Ways to Die, we were given a brief mention for that. Either way, we found out that there was the Fountain War coming up, and we said, you know what, that sounds really fun. Let's go third party that. Everybody get in your Tau Wars. So we head over to Fountain, and we lose, I think it was 7,500 ships in about 4 days, and then we go back home. Either way, but we had a really nice taste of that area, so we decided to move over to Barliget. I think we were staging out of Vestuve with Rogue Capel, and then we started getting killed in NPC Null, in Syndicate specifically. During this time, there was a change in leadership. Mattias Otero, our glorious founder, had some real life stuff, and he said, well, you've got nothing better to do, and you're kind of crazy, like, just go do dumb stuff. So I said, okay, let's deploy to NullSec and see what that's all about. So we went over to NullSec, and we learned about a beautiful thing called bubbles, where we lost another 12,000 ships in a 9-day period, and then we came back home, and then we said, we're going to keep going. But then something funny happened. One of our minor corps started getting popped by these weird underground group named Usurper. I don't know if any of you guys are out here, but hi. And we said, well, who are these guys? Like, why are they killing our minor bros? You know, they just want to go mine rocks in solitude. And then we came back with our scouting report, and they're like, hey, Licton, these guys have moons, and moons everywhere. We needed SRP because we have a monthly loss of anywhere between 150 to 600 billion ISK a month. So we started going after moons. I know my time's coming up. I'm on it.
How did you know? I didn't tell you anything.
Anyway, so speeding it up, we ended up had a long protracted fight known as our newbie winter war, and we ended up taking control of the last R64, and we said, okay, that sounds fun. Now what? Well, there was some other stuff going on. I said, well, this isn't crazy enough. Let's go and grab everybody else's enemies, make them our friends, and go play with the Russians over in that side of the world. So we did, and somehow we accidentally solve, thanks to Darkness of Despair, and we'll take it. And that's where we are today. As right now, the war on catch continues. We have captured over half of it. We're building a new pipeline. And we're trying to stay fun per hour. We're trying to keep our tenet of fun per hour. And we're doing that by putting brand new newbies into the soft grind system. I don't know if you know this, but you can actually grind down an infrastructure hub in 15 minutes. The only thing you need are 308 kestrels. Thank you. And the last thing is just actually a quote that we talked about, because people don't understand like how hard it is to be shot at by absolutely everybody in New Eden and still maintain a positive attitude. You know, when we came down for Zendaya, we were losing 1,300 ships a day. In fact, for March, just in the Zendaya pocket, we lost 37,000 ships last month alone by all of you guys. So thank you. Thank you. Either way, I just want to quickly say, the last part about the three Braves. Being brave in its infancy meant to just dive in and play the game. Staying brave meant moving to low sec with 17 war decks. Now being brave is punching through against our enemies in search of this elusive red donut. I think we kind of found it, but right now we're going to keep going forward. We're going to stay newbie friendly, and I just want to let everybody know, since it's a huge topic, don't worry guys, head GP is safe. Thanks.
Hello. Man nerds! Hi guys. My name's Epiphany. I'm a director and FC for Snigwaffer. We are the training and recruitment corp for Sniggerly. I'd just like to say before we start, that Archon that I dropped a Titan on, I didn't know the Ragnarok was coming until the Archon was gone. That kind of sums up the relationship we have with PL. We just kind of have lots of fights and sometimes supers appear around us. It's kind of weird. However, I have to ask.
Yeah, we like waffles. Do you like pancakes? Yeah, we like pancakes. Do you like French toast? Yeah, we like French toast. Dip, dip, dip. Can't wait to get a mouthful. Waffles! Do you like waffles?
No.
Yeah, we like.
There we go. Fantastic. So yes, we do small to mid-gang PvP in low and null-sec space. I'm fairly sure I kind of had a garter of who's in the room and what corp and alliances you are. I'm fairly sure I've called you all primary at least once. I think so. Definitely on the panel. But still, as I said, we are training and recruitment for Sniggerly, primarily, which is the executive corp of PL. Though, if you're kind of useless, we just send you to one of the D-tier ones, like, I don't know, BDCI, Boosa, and then if you're really bad, possibly Habit. But still, it's pretty fun time in Waffles. We take in mostly 5 million skill point plus pilots, you know, guys who have kind of got skills for us to mold them, but kind of are still learning. A lot of the time we get called that we're just a PL alt corp, and that's not true. We have no ties to PL. We won't drop carriers on you, and like Sino's not gonna happen. Trust me. Now, we do follow, however, a similar philosophy to PL in terms of where we are. We have our forever home in Kanaka and Black Rise and Faction Warfare area, because kills just kind of fall into your lap when you live in faction warfare space. But we do go on deployments, and we were once described as, when Waffles go on deployments, it's like giving a bunch of toddlers a set of kitchen knives and just kind of setting them loose in the playground. Although sometimes that doesn't exactly go where you'd hope. Still, one of the key aspects to Waffles is that of activity. We expect every single pilot to scout. We expect every single pilot to step up an FC. One of the things that you kind of know from every alliance in the game is that you tend to have these guys with big personalities. They do a lot of work and they provide content for everyone. Waffles is all about every single player being important, every single person being useful. And we have a lot of things in place to make sure that happens and to promote the doing of that. I'd now like to show you some statistics on what metric we can use My CEO is crying. This is not good. Okay, so here we've got aggregated from March and February of this year the number of kills we got. Now that's just kind of a number. Can't really do anything with that. So I built you a table. So here we have kills, members, and kills per member with some alliance you may have heard of in the game. So to start with, there's Snigwaffer. In March and February, we got a number of kills I can't read from all the way up here, but we have 200 members, and that gives us about 54 kills per member. Next alliance, Blue Republic. Very famous high-sec war decking corp, constant war with Red Alliance. They claim to do PvP all day, every day, and have 5 kills per member for 2 months. Okay, next one. Brave Newbies. Fantastic Brave Newbies. We like fighting them all the time. They have really a lot of members, as you said. However, each of them get about 3 kills per. Okay. Goonwaffer. Goons. Are there any goons in the house? Please tell your guys to undock. You only have 4 kills each over 2 months. What are you doing? Fwedit's a little bit better. You've got 17, as I said, faction warfare, easy to get kills. We've got Dreadit down there, the burnt ashes of Test, who God knows where they are at the moment. They have only got 2 kills per member. However, more stats I'm going to burn through as quickly as we can. We've got 215 real players, we've got 8 PL alts, and since last Fanfest, we've recruited 462 players, 234 of whom we got rid of. Another 15, we just, no, you're not allowed back, I don't care, stop ruining my fleets. Then we had 35 graduates. As I said, we are a training recruitment corp for PL. We do graduate people to there, and we managed to have a class of 35, some of whom I believe are in this audience. We actually have 10% of all waffles at Fanfest this year, and personally, I find that absolutely amazing that we managed to get so many people here. Now, we're all about, as I said, doing small gang PvP and trying to do our best. So last summer, we entered in the ATXI, which none of us had ever done before. We didn't really know how it worked. We knew that Sniggerly did it, so we wanted to show off to our big brother and have a go. There was some fantastic propaganda that came about out of this. You can see the scene from the film The 300, and immediately with the video you saw earlier, we kind of captured the hearts and minds of the audience from any other corp. Okay, so we won our first 2 rounds versus various opponents. Doesn't really matter. But then, unfortunately, we lost in the winner's bracket 3 to the Ronin. But then after that, we got to fight Nully, which was really fun because we didn't lose a single ship, which was nice. Thank you for saving our wallets because we're all really poor. Still, we then went on, we won 2 more rounds before finally getting kicked out of the tournament. Sadly, we came 16th overall, but you know, it was our first go, and I find that just fantastic. But what really made it for me, what made me love waffles, and one of the things I love about waffles is that we have so few real people. You know, we have 200 real people, and yet we were fielding every practice 30 guys to turn up. We had 1 guy who could fly a Tengu for the Tinger setup. And we used it almost every round. The guy woke up at like midnight so he could come practice with us, bless him. Okay.
I'm really sorry to interrupt you, but you've got a rush.
Nearly done, I promise. Okay, so as I said, we deploy as the PL we go to find areas of high activity. We recently deployed to Pureblind at the end of last year. I won't bother reading that out, you can read it quickly, but if you read the quote from one of the CEOs, we are a 180-man corp made mostly from old school PL pilots, and we essentially shut down 3 or 4 regions in the north. We even stole 4 tech moons, which we sold back to them as we were leaving. So we are also in BTAC-R, and this is the last slide, I promise. We generally don't like tie-dye. It sucks. I think you all know this, but generally it's a poorly kept secret that PL are really, really bad at internet spaceships. So sometimes they get all their stuff tackled and we have to go save them. So we spent about 16 hours trying to bomb bubbles off of PL Titans. We saved 6, and we actually spent the last 5 hours trying to save Salah Cameron, who unfortunately still went down. So I've run out of time. Thank you very much for listening. Our public challenge is join Waffles.
And unfortunately, we have no time for questions, and John CCP Dolan disappeared because he's going to be kicked off the ring. So let's go and watch it.